Okay, trying to navigate the sheer pace of change in business right now, especially with AI everywhere, it really can feel like trying to drink from a fire hose.
It absolutely can. So
Yeah.
many new tools, so many claims. It's tough to know what's real.
Right. And for anyone trying to stay competitive, the challenge isn't just keeping up with what AI can do, but figuring out which specific tools are, genuinely making a difference day to day.
And crucially, how they fit together. That's often missed.
That's exactly what we're diving into today. We've looked at a bunch of sources focusing on what they call the 5 best AI tools for business operations.
Mhm.
Our mission here is to unpack these tools, what they are, what they do on their own, but the real kicker, the thing that really stands out from the material, is how their power multiplies when they integrate.
Yeah, how they connect. That's the core insight.
Exactly. We want to look at how linking these tools creates these powerful efficiencies and delivers real ROI. We'll pull out the crucial bits so you can quickly get a handle on this whole area.
Because, let's be honest, AI isn't some future thing anymore. It's here, right now, changing how companies operate.
Totally. And the sources back this up. One stat mentioned was that 95% of businesses plan to expand their AI use in the next 2 years.
95%. That's basically universal adoption happening, well, very fast.
Okay, so let's unpack that shift a bit. The source material really hammers home that AI isn't just touching one department, it's hitting, well, pretty much everywhere in business operations. Can you walk us through some of those key areas?
Sure. It really does touch everything. Take customer service, for instance. AI offers instant 24/7 help.
Right, chatbots and things.
Exactly. And it drastically cuts response times. The source mentioned LATAM Airlines. They saw a 90% drop in response times.
90%. Wow.
Yeah, and their chatbot apparently resolved 80% of inquiries on its own. Siemens Financial Services also reported double-digit productivity gains in their service side.
So it's freeing up the human agents for the more complex, tricky stuff.
Precisely. That's a huge benefit. Then you have sales and marketing. It's all about predictive analytics, personalization.
Understanding the customer better.
Right. AI crunches all that behavioral data to anticipate needs, which leads to better engagement, lower costs, and just saves time through automation.
Makes sense. What about HR? That seems like an area ripe for, well, improvement.
Huge changes there, too, from finding candidates to developing employees. Unilever, for example, uses AI for video interviews.
Oh, interesting.
And the source notes this actually improves diversity and saves a ton of time compared to the old ways. Automating the routine HR stuff lets people focus on strategy, which saves money too.
And finance and ops. I mean, processing tons of data that feels like a natural AI fit.
It really is. Businesses using AI in finance are reporting something like a 38% productivity boost and a 40% cut in operational costs.
40% cost reduction? That's significant.
It is. And get this, 62% of organizations are apparently relying on AI now for document processing. Think invoices, compliance reports.
So that's moving from niche to mainstream pretty fast.
Definitely becoming standard practice.
Okay, 62%. That's a big chunk. What about supply chain inventory? Any examples pop out there?
Yeah, companies are seeing revenue gains over 5%. Heideggen uses machine learning for better demand forecasting, optimizing inventory.
Avoiding stockouts or overstocking.
Exactly. And Apollo Energy uses predictive tools to spot potential issues in solar systems before they cause downtime. Proactive maintenance.
It really sounds like no industry is left untouched. Healthcare, public sector.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
38% of healthcare providers apparently use AI for diagnoses, and the potential savings could be up to $150 billion annually by 2026, according to the source.
Whoa.
And in public services, Aberdeen City Council in the UK is looking at a potential 241% ROI using Microsoft 365 Copilot.
241% ROI. How?
By anticipating what residents need and automating tasks, they estimate it could save $3 million a year.
Okay. Even like heavy industry, mining, construction.
Yep. Mining data processing is apparently 18 times faster with AI. And construction firms are seeing productivity gains around 50%.
50%. So the impact is just everywhere.
Undeniable. The breadth is huge.
So AI is clearly getting woven into, well, everything. But here's where the source material really gets interesting, that aha moment we talked about.
Right.
The real transformation isn't just using these tools individually. It's when you integrate them, connect them.
Exactly. The combined effect, when they work together smoothly, is just way bigger than adding up the parts.
It's moving beyond just having a chatbot here, an analytics tool there.
To building these cohesive, intelligent workflows that span across different tools and departments.
Which brings us neatly to the first tool the source really highlights as kind of the glue for all this, Latenode.
Yes, Latenode, positioned as a key unifier.
Okay, Latenode. The source calls it a low-code platform, blends no-code ease with full-code power. What's its main job in this AI ecosystem?
Its core purpose, really, is to simplify how you manage and connect all these different AI tools. Instead of juggling, dozens of subscriptions and trying to wire up APIs yourself.
Which sounds like a headache.
It can be. Latenode brings over 400 AI models, think OpenAI, Claude, DeepSeek, Gemini, all the big ones, plus connections to over 300 apps, all under one roof, one subscription.
Okay, that consolidation alone sounds valuable. It cuts complexity right away.
It's foundational for building those unified workflows we talked about.
And it's automation power. The source talks about creating autonomous AI teams that collaborate. How does that actually work?
Well, it's baked into the platform's design. You've got a drag-and-drop builder, right?
Yeah.
Super easy for non-tech folks to map out workflows.
Okay.
But crucially, if you are a developer, you can drop right into JavaScript for custom logic, really advanced stuff.
So it bridges that gap.
Exactly. And these aren't just simple triggers. The AI agents you build in Latenode can handle complex sequences, draft emails, analyze data from multiple places, talk to different APIs, even tweak their own workflows based on how they're doing.
And I saw mentions of advanced features too, like multiple triggers for one workflow, sub-scenarios, even a headless browser for web automation.
Yeah, that headless browser is powerful.
Yeah.
Great for scraping data or interacting with websites automatically in the background.
There was a killer example in the source material, an AI SEO agent built by Anastasia Antonova. Back in October 2024, it apparently cranked out 100 articles in a single day.
100 articles. Wow.
Yeah, costing just 40 to 60 cents each. And they actually ranked on Google's second page. That's just incredible efficiency.
It really is. A tangible example of scaling content super cost effectively. And the user comments echo this. Someone named Islam B said the AI nodes are amazing, super easy to use, partly because you're not messing with individual API keys for each AI model. It just uses Latenode credits.
That makes sense. Less friction. So the integration potential is obviously huge here. It sounds like Latenode is built specifically to connect all those different business systems, ERP, CRM, finance tools, databases.
Precisely. That's its sweet spot. It offers over 300 app integrations, pre-built connectors to make things easier, and tools like visual data mappers.
To see how the data flows.
Right. And built-in functions to transform data as it moves between apps. The whole idea is seamless data flow. Their unified API approach aims to centralize control, making it simpler to build those complex cross-department workflows.
So for businesses thinking, okay, how would I use this? What are some concrete examples from the source where Latenode acts as that central hub?
Oh, plenty. Marketing.
Yeah.
You can integrate your lead gen forms with your CRM, then automatically trigger personalized email sequences drafted by, say, ChatGPT, all managed by Latenode.
Okay, connecting the dots.
Customer service.
Yeah.
Connect your AI chatbot to your internal knowledge base and your ticketing system so it has a real-time context about the customer and the issue.
Makes the chatbot way smarter.
Totally. Content creation. Generate product descriptions, add variations, social media posts, and push them out to the right platforms. HR link your applicant tracking system with an assessment tool like, well, TestGorilla, which we'll get to.
That really shows how it acts as the switchboard. Another user, Stockton F., was quoted saying the low-code approach was perfect, and the AI helper let them get cool stuff done very quickly. It sounds like it really does lower the barrier.
It aims to democratize that kind of powerful automation.
Which leads us to the next tool, AI chatbots, the customer frontline.
Right, chatbots. They're everywhere now. The market is booming, expected to hit over $10 billion by 2026.
And people seem to like them, at least for certain things. The stats are interesting. 74% apparently favor chatbots for simple questions.
That makes sense. Faster answers.
And 62% prefer using a chatbot over waiting for a human agent. So they're definitely meeting a need for speed and convenience.
So what are they automating primarily? Mostly those repetitive inquiries, freeing up human staff for the really complex or sensitive issues. They give you 24/7 support, can schedule appointments, process basic orders, even handle internal stuff, like onboarding new hires.
Onboarding. Okay, didn't think of that.
Yeah, guide them through initial steps. They're also pretty good for lead qualification, engaging prospects early, asking basic questions, collecting data.
And the source pointed out their impact isn't just customer-facing. 70% of white-collar workers apparently rely on chatbots for repetitive daily tasks now.
Exactly. It's becoming an internal productivity tool, too.
Yeah.
And the results can be dramatic. We mentioned Elcam's 90% response time reduction, 80% resolution rate.
Yeah.
Siemens saw those double-digit productivity gains and 86% customer satisfaction with their chatbot-assisted service. These are big numbers.
And here's that integration theme popping up again. The source really stresses that chatbots are way more powerful when they're not standalone.
Absolutely critical. A chatbot working in isolation is okay, but connecting it to your CRM, your databases, other business tools, that's where the magic happens.
How so?
That's where platforms like Latenode come in again. They turn that standalone bot into a dynamic part of your whole system. Integration gives the chatbot real-time access to data.
So it knows who it's talking to.
Exactly. It can pull up customer history, account details, past interactions, and give accurate, personalized responses. Latenode's visual builder and even pre-built templates like one mentioned for a GPT chatbot with context retention for Telegram make deploying these connected bots much faster.
And it means the bot can do more than just talk, right? It can trigger actions.
Precisely. Retrieve customer histories, trigger follow-up tasks based on the conversation, update databases automatically. That quote from Amy Velligan at Compass nails it. It's really about knowing who your customers are so that you can get them to the right person and answer them the right way. Integration enables that knowledge and the right action in real time.
Makes sense. Specific examples of integrated chatbots.
Loads of them across different sectors: e-commerce, finance, travel, healthcare. H&M uses one for product recommendations, sizing help, order tracking. Capital One has Eno for account balances, transfers, fraud alerts.
Right.
Bank of America's Erica offers financial advice, helps pay bills. Amtrak's Julie helps find routes, book tickets.
Did that impact their business?
Apparently, yes. A 25% increase in bookings and a 50% jump in user engagement.
Wow. That's real business impact.
Definitely. And even for events, the Slush 2018 Tech Conference chatbot handled 64% of all support requests. HOAS, a student housing provider, has a bot handling over 59% of queries, 247. They're doing serious heavy lifting when they're properly connected.
Okay, moving on. Next up, Salesforce Einstein. The source calls it the CRM brain.
Yeah, Salesforce is obviously massive, and Einstein is their big AI layer. The source mentions it generates over 80 billion AI predictions daily.
80 billion. That's a lot of predictions.
It's staggering. It basically weaves machine learning, NLP, computer vision, right into the core Salesforce platform: Sales Cloud, Service Cloud, Marketing Cloud. The goal is to make the CRM smarter, more predictive, more automated.
So how does it automate things within Salesforce itself? What can Einstein do?
It tackles a lot of the repetitive stuff. In Sales Cloud, it can automate follow-up reminders, suggest personalized content for emails, score leads and opportunities so reps know where to focus.
Prioritization, basically.
Exactly. In Service Cloud, the Einstein Bot Builder lets you create bots to handle common customer queries, like checking claim status or updating bank details, freeing up human agents.
And there's something called Einstein Automate, a broader workflow thing.
Right. It's positioned as their big workflow automation solution. The source mentioned a stat: only 25% of IT leaders feel their current tech fully supports employee productivity. Einstein Automate aims to fix that.
Oh.
With tools like Flow Orchestrator, which lets you build complex multi-user processes using a low-code approach, all inside Salesforce. Plus, there are tons of pre-built solutions on their App Exchange. Sarah Franklin from Salesforce was quoted saying it lets everyone change the speed of work through intelligent workflow automation. Making it accessible is key.
Okay, so Einstein adds a lot of intelligence inside Salesforce. But how does connecting it to something like Latenode make it even more powerful? Doesn't that overlap?
Not really overlap, more like amplify. Einstein automates within the Salesforce ecosystem. Latenode connects Salesforce to everything else.
Ah, okay, the bridge to the outside world.
Exactly. Latenode's visual builder can take an insight or data point from Einstein, or just regular Salesforce data, and trigger workflows across those 300+ other apps it connects to, without you needing to write code.
Got it. Can you give me a specific example of that cross-platform flow?
Sure. Let's say Einstein flags a lead in Salesforce as high value based on their activity. Latenode could then kick off a multi-step process.
Like what?
Like, okay, step 1, automatically pull data about that lead's interaction with a recent Google ad. Step 2, use that info and Salesforce data to draft a personalized outreach email via, say, ChatGPT. Step 3, send it through your main marketing platform. Step 4, update the lead status back in Salesforce and maybe add a task for the sales rep.
Okay, wow. So that's a complex chain reaction across multiple tools, all triggered from Salesforce, orchestrated by Latenode.
Precisely. It lets Salesforce data and triggers interact seamlessly with your whole tech stack. Think about development teams linking Jira issues to Salesforce cases automatically,
Right.
or syncing engagement data from MailChimp back into the contact record in Salesforce. Or if a task related to a customer gets marked complete in ClickUp, Latenode updates Salesforce.
It connects all those islands of information.
Yeah. The source even mentioned using Latenode to automatically create new Salesforce user accounts when a new employee record is created in Bamboo HR. That user quote from Francisco de Paula S. sums it up. Limitless automation integrations, and he called Latenode's AI JavaScript node a lifesaver for these tricky connections.
And the specific Einstein use cases mentioned in the source, they cover a lot.
They do. Marketing gets AI-driven content selection for personalized messages, send time optimization. E-commerce gets better search and product recommendations, smart promotions.
Data analysis.
Einstein Studio for building custom predictive models. Tableau Pulse for pushing AI-driven insights automatically. Customer service uses case classification to autofill fields, article recommendations to suggest help docs. It's very broad and customizable too.
All right, let's switch to a tool that pretty much everyone has heard of, probably used, ChatGPT.
Yeah, impossible to ignore. The source calls it maybe the most widely used AI tool in business right now. Those stats are wild. 5.6 billion monthly visits as of March 2025.
5.6 billion.
Yeah. And 62% of professionals apparently use it daily in their work. It's become a go-to for content generation and, well, helping knowledge workers.
Its automation capabilities are pretty well known. That Harvard BCG study the source mentioned is key GPT-4 users finishing tasks 25% faster with 40% better quality.
Those are huge boosts. It's great at simplifying repetitive writing tasks, streamlining knowledge work. Generating content is the obvious one: marketing copy, support articles, documentation.
Brainstorming ideas, drafting emails, creating customer personas.
Right. Crafting FAQ responses, updating knowledge bases. It's incredibly versatile for text generation.
But it's more than just text, right? Data analysis help.
Definitely. Summarizing big data sets, generating spreadsheet formulas, even creating narrative explanations for charts. And for developers, it's huge for writing code snippets, translating between languages, debugging.
And it's evolving for business use, too. The source mentioned ChatGPT team launched early 2025.
Yeah, that signals a move towards enterprise adoption. Shared workspaces, customizable GPTs for specific team tasks, admin controls, at $25 per user per month. Companies like Block, Canva, PwC are using it.
The quote from Joris van Dijk at BrainChat seemed relevant. ChatGPT is an amazing tool, but it wasn't built for teams until now. ChatGPT team bridges that gap.
Exactly, addressing the collaboration and security needs of businesses.
But again, like the others, the source implies its real operational power comes from integration. Powerful on its own, but transformative when connected.
Absolutely critical. When you connect ChatGPT through a platform like Latenode, it stops being just a helpful assistant you copy-paste from.
Right.
And becomes an engine that can drive entire automated workflows across hundreds of other apps. It can automate CRM updates, generate reports using data from other systems, kick off follow-up sequences.
Can you walk me through an example of that integration in action?
Sure. Let's say you integrate ChatGPT with your CRM, maybe high level, using Latenode as the bridge.
Okay.
An inquiry comes into high level. Latenode sends the details to ChatGPT. ChatGPT analyzes it, drafts a personalized response based on the prospect's specific interests shown in the inquiry, maybe referencing past interactions pulled from high level via Latenode.
Got it. Tailored response.
Then Latenode takes that drafted response and pushes it back into high level to be sent out, maybe logs the interaction, sets a follow-up task.
Yeah.
The whole 9 yards, automated.
So ChatGPT does the smart thinking writing. Latenode handles the plumbing, connecting it to the action systems.
Precisely. Or connect it with QuickBooks. Handle a financial query. Have ChatGPT analyze it. Maybe generate a custom mini report based on the conversation, with Latenode managing the data flow.
And Latenode's logic can handle the outputs too, like branching based on what ChatGPT says.
Exactly. That's super powerful. Latenode's branching and merging lets you take ChatGPT's output, say, sentiment analysis of feedback, and route it automatically. Positive feedback goes to marketing, technical issues create a support ticket in Zendesk, etc.
Makes sense. That user quote from Islam B comes up again here about Latenode's AI nodes and custom GPT helper making configuration easier, streamlining the use of ChatGPT in these complex flows.
Right, it smooths out the technical side.
So specific use cases where integrated ChatGPT shines.
The source lists a ton. Marketing, SEO, keyword ideas, meta descriptions, content calendars, social posts tailored to each platform, personalized email campaigns at scale,
Customer service.
automating parts of lead gen responses, technical support FAQs, resolving common issues automatically, capturing detailed lead info during chats,
HR recruitment.
analyzing resumes for key skills, answering standard candidate questions 24/7, helping schedule interviews, generating drafts for training materials, even analyzing employee engagement survey responses,
Sales and business development.
doing quick research on prospects before a call, tailoring sales pitches on the fly, analyzing customer data to find relevant talking points, automating lead capture and qualification when connected to the CRM. It really touches almost every function when it's plugged in properly, and the adoption plans reflect that 90% of commercial leaders planning to use generative AI. That stat about integrated workflows boosting task completion speed by 40%. That's the integration payoff.
Okay, 40% faster. Huge. Last tool on the list, TestGorilla. The source calls it the hiring enhancer.
Right. This one's focused squarely on recruitment, specifically automating candidate evaluations.
So its main function is better screening?
Essentially, yes. Making hiring more precise and data-driven by using standardized assessments early on. It aims to cut through the noise of resumes and interviews by testing actual skills.
What kind of skills?
All sorts. It offers tailored assessments for specific job roles, coding tests for developers, cognitive ability tests, personality assessments, language skills, situational judgment, you name it.
And it automates the process.
Yeah, handles sending out the tests, scheduling, notifications, tracking completion, and generating detailed reports for the hiring team. It pulls the data together to objectively match candidates against job requirements. Includes things like role-based permissions, too.
Does it actually make a difference? Any proof points in the source?
Yes, some pretty compelling stats from 2023. Companies using it reported reducing time to hire from an average of 38 days down to 29.
That's a big chunk off the hiring cycle.
It is. They also reported improved candidate quality, identifying top performers more reliably. One company hired 10 engineers in a single quarter by automating assessment steps with TestGorilla.
Wow, 10 engineers in a quarter is fast.
It speeds things up significantly. That quote from Nadia Vitalides at TestGorilla really captures the philosophy. Skills are the future of work. If you're not assessing for skills, you're not hiring for the future. It also aims for more inclusive hiring by reducing unconscious bias through standardized tests.
That makes sense. So how does Latenode fit in with TestGorilla? How does integration help here?
Again, it's about connecting it to the rest of the hiring ecosystem. TestGorilla generates valuable assessment data, but integration via Latenode makes that data flow automatically and trigger actions.
No, what kind of actions?
Using the API connection, Latenode can automatically update your applicant tracking system, ATS, the moment candidate finishes a test. It can schedule the next interview step in Calendly, but only for candidates who score above a certain threshold. It can send out personalized prep materials based on the specific role they passed the assessment for.
Ah, so the test results automatically drive the next step in the hiring workflow. No manual checking and forwarding.
Exactly. Latenode's branching logic is perfect here. You build rules. If score 80 on cognitive tests, then send technical challenge. If pass technical challenge, then schedule a hiring manager interview, automating that whole progression.
So the use cases are really any role where objective skills assessment is important upfront.
Absolutely. Technical roles, obviously, with coding challenges.
Yeah.
Customer service roles might use communication or empathy tests. Sales roles could use personality or situational judgment tests looking for things like persistence.
Finance, accounting, numerical reasoning.
Yep. TestGorilla offers customizable branding, detailed reports, and Latenode ensures all the data flows smoothly into your main ATS or HR dashboard, keeping everything in sync.
Okay, so we've looked at these 5 tools. Latenode is the unifier, AI chatbots on the front line, Salesforce Einstein as the CRM brain, ChatGPT for content and knowledge work, and TestGorilla for hiring. But the consistent thread, the big message from the source material, is integration. That's where the real ROI lies.
It really is the core takeaway. These integrated AI workflows, they're not just about saving a bit of money here and there. They drive really tangible, measurable improvements in efficiency, productivity. Yeah. That's what delivers the big ROI figures.
Like that stat you mentioned earlier, companies using AI for cost reduction reporting 150, 300% ROI in the first year.
Yeah, that's a massive return. And integration is key to achieving that kind of number.
How does integration specifically fuel those returns?
By automating the flow of data and tasks between tools,
Oh.
eliminating the manual copy-pasting, the delays, the errors that happen when systems are siloed. Think about those big examples. JP Morgan's Koyan AI saving thousands of hours on legal doc review.
Yeah.
Target's AI inventory system processing 360,000 transactions a second to keep stock levels just right. These huge gains rely on connected systems.
And Latenode, acting as that connector, directly contributes to cost reduction.
It does. By automating those connections, it cuts operational costs significantly. The source mentioned up to 30% savings for IT service firms, and infrastructure costs can drop too, around 37% on average when AI is used well in IT operations, often enabled by integration platforms.
What about productivity? AI alone is projected to boost business productivity by potentially 40%. How does integration amplify that?
By getting rid of the manual handoffs between the AI tools and other systems. When Einstein finds a lead, ChatGPT drafts the email, Latenode sends it via mailgun, and updates Salesforce, that whole chain is automated. Hours saved right there.
That WPP example using generative AI for ads, the CEO saying savings can be 10 or 20 times.
Exactly. Integration lets you string these powerful tools together. It frees up your people for the high-value strategic thinking, the creative work, while ensuring data is consistent everywhere.
And revenue growth, often linked to better customer experience. That stat, about 34% of customers willing to spend more with AI-savvy companies.
Right, because AI enables personalization at scale. Think Airbnb tailoring listings and recommendations. Latenode allows businesses to automate that entire customer journey.
End to end.
Yeah. A lead comes in from Seamless AI. Latenode triggers ChatGPT for personalized outreach, updates Salesforce, maybe deploys a specific chatbot sequence for follow-up. That smooth, connected journey boosts conversions, makes customers feel valued, and cuts manual sales effort.
Scalability is obviously key for growth, too. 84% of leaders see AI as crucial for competitive advantage.
And integration platforms are essential for scaling AI effectively. Latenode's cloud architecture means it can handle scaling up from one workflow to automating entire departments without needing massive infrastructure changes. Think Tesla analyzing machine data to predict failures that requires integrated systems from sensors to maintenance workflows to work at scale.
So pulling it all together, the measurable business impact is pretty clear.
It's significant, visible in key metrics. Over 30% of companies reporting time savings from AI, 75% of execs saying it leads to better decisions. Integration amplifies all of this. You see improvements in processing time, error rates go down, customer satisfaction goes up, revenue per customer increases. It's tangible.
It moves AI from a cool tech experiment to a core business driver.
Exactly. It justifies the investment and builds the foundation for real, sustainable growth.
Okay, so wrapping this deep dive up, the message coming through loud and clear from all the source material is this. Yes, individual AI tools like chatbots, Einstein, ChatGPT, TestGorilla are powerful, no doubt.
But their full game-changing potential. That's unlocked when you integrate them using platforms like Latenode.
That integration piece seems to be the difference between just optimizing a task and actually transforming an operation.
Absolutely. And the market sees it. 94% of leaders viewing AI as essential for the next 5 years. That IDC prediction AI automation spending hitting over $630 billion by 2028. That growth is driven by the need for these integrated systems.
It's not just about having AI, it's about making AI work together.
Right. Look at IBM saving $160 million during the pandemic using integrated AI in their supply chain. That's the kind of enterprise-level impact we're talking about.
So for businesses wanting to compete, integrating these tools isn't really optional anymore, is it?
It's becoming essential. Success increasingly lies in finding those platforms that connect the dots, automate the workflows, and turn individual AI capabilities into a unified, intelligent system.
So maybe the final thought for you listening is this. Look at your own business operations. Where could you gain an edge? Not just by adding another AI tool, but by connecting the tools you already use or plan to use into a single smarter flow.
Because the company's figuring that out now. They're the ones setting themselves up to lead. It's definitely something to think about.